Hey guys, so welcome to our new course, and in this course we are going to learn about SQL, which is structured query language. And in this course we are going to learn about different use cases of SQL. So let's check out the overall outline. So at first we have in day one we'll learn about what is SQL. Then we'll also learn about the table basics. After that, we'll move on to selecting data. Then we'll see about how we can create tables in SQL. After that, in day two, we'll learn about how to insert various values in table, then how to update different records, then deleting records from table, and in the last, how to drop a table. In day 3, we'll learn about the select statement, which is used very much in industry. And in the next, we'll learn about aggregate function, which is really very interesting. Then we have group by clause. And after that, we'll move on to having clause. And then we have order by clause. In the last day, which is day 4, we'll learn about different conditional statements that can be used in SQL. Then we'll learn about in and between. Then we'll learn about how to use different mathematical functions. And in the last part, we'll learn about different kinds of join. So guys, I hope you enjoy this course and stay tuned for the next courses. So thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our course, and today in day 1 we'll learn about few interesting things about SQL. So let's get started. So what is SQL? SQL is generally stands for Structured Query Language. Then we have SQL generally lets us to access and manipulate different kinds of database. Like we have generally different kinds of database, and to perform various kinds of operations in those databases, we generally use SQL. So what can SQL do? SQL can execute queries against the database. Then SQL can retrieve data from a database. Then SQL can insert records in a database. Then SQL can update the records in a database. So as I have told earlier, that SQL can perform different operations in a database, and that's what is defined here. Then there are a few more things which are SQL can delete the records from a database, then SQL can create new databases, and SQL can create new tables in a database. Then we have few more which are SQL can create stored procedures in a database. Then we have SQL can create views in a database. Then SQL can set permission on table procedures and views. So that's all guys for our today's video, and more videos are coming, so stay tuned. Thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in this lecture we're going to learn about what is table. So a relational database system contains one or more objects which are called tables. So generally speaking, for example, suppose we have employee. So that employee has different parameters like salary, then employee ID, then his department. So we can store those data in a table, right? So that's what a table is. Here, as you can see in the next statement, the data or information for the database are stored in these tables. After that, we have an example of table. So here, as you can see, this is an example of weather table. And here we have different kinds of columns like city, then state, then high, then low. So the city column generally tells us the names of the cities. Then state defines these various states where those cities are located. And in the high column, we have the highest temperature. And in the low column, we have the lowest temperature. So as you can see, all this information are stored within a table which is called weather. So guys, I hope you have understood about table, and we'll learn more interesting things in the upcoming lessons. So yeah, thanks a lot. Bye bye. Hi guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in this lecture we'll be learning about select statement. So here we can see that to select data we generally use the select statement, which is used to query the database and retrieve selected data that match the criteria as per as our specification. So here you can see that we generally use the select statement, and here we are specifying the column, and then we'll specify another column from the name of the table, and then we'll specify the condition. After that we'll get the value. So this is one example. So here you can see that we have a table called emp info, which generally means employee info, I guess. And here we have different columns. So the columns are first, then last, then ID, then age, then city, and state. So suppose we want to fetch the third row, which is Eric. So how to do that? And to do that we have to specify this condition. So here you can see select star from emp info where first equals to Eric. So once you execute this, we'll get the result of this row, which is Eric. So that's the end of our lecture for the day one, and I really hope that you guys have liked this course, and stay tuned for the more lectures. Thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in today's lecture we'll learn about how we can create table. So let's see what the statement tells us. The create table statement is used to create a new table. So yeah, in SQL we have a statement which is called create table. So that is generally used for creating a new table. So as you can see here, this is the exact command that we can use in SQL to create a table. So here we specify create, then table, and here we have to give the name that we want our table to be named. Then within that table there are different columns, right? So here you can name your columns, then you can specify the type of data that your column have. Suppose there are some columns which have integer values, and there are some columns which have both variables and integers. So here you can see, here we are creating a table called employee, and to create that we have used create table then employee, and after that within the bracket we have created different columns called first, last, age, address, city, and state. The first has varchar. So varchar is generally used where we want both numerical and character values. Suppose xyz 10, that will be an example of varchar. Then we have last, that is also varchar. After that age. So as I have told that age is an integer value, so we can specify it as number. Then we have address, which is of varchar. Then we have city, which is varchar, and state, which is varchar. And this, you can see that within these values there are different parameters like 15, 23. So these are the maximum amount of characters that you can specify in those columns. So that's all, guys. I hope you like this lecture and stay tuned for more. Thank you. Hi, guys. So, no, no, no. Hi, guys. So, welcome to our day 2, and this is the first lecture. In this lecture, we'll learn about how to insert values into a table. So, as I have shown in the previous videos, that we have tables, right? So how can we insert a new value in those tables? So for that, we generally use the below statement, as you can see here. So at first we have to write insert into and after that the name of the table. Then we have to specify the columns where we want to add those new values. So for example, here we have first column and last column. After that, we have to specify the values. For that, we have to write values, and under the bracket we have to specify the values that we want to give to the columns. So that's all, and I hope you like this video and stay tuned for the new videos. Thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in this new lecture we'll be learning about how to update records. So what is update statement? The update statement is generally used to update or change record that match a specific criteria. So as you can see here, we are generally, let's go to the statement first, and here it is written that the update statement is used to change records that match a specific criteria. For example, here we have the table name. Then first we have to specify update statement. Then we have to keep the name of the table that we are using. Then we have to use the state statement. And after that, we have to specify the name of the column and give the new value. Then suppose we have more columns, so we'll give the next column's name and the new value. Then we have to use where statement. So the where statement is like a conditional statement. So after using where statement, we have to use the name of the column. Then we have to use the operator, which means greater than, less than, or equals to value. And after that, you can also use some different other techniques and we'll get the result. So that's all for our today's lecture, and I hope you like this video. So thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in today's lecture we'll be learning about how we can delete records from different rows. So let's see the general definition that we have written here. So the delete statement is used to delete records or rows from the table. So yeah, we can delete different kinds of records and various kinds of rows from the table by using the delete statement. In the next slide, we have an example, as you can see here. So I'll explain you through line by line. Here we specify the delete statement. Then we tell it from which table we want to delete. Then we have to specify the name of the column and the different operation for the value. So I think you must be confused with this. So in the next slide we have an simple example. So yeah, Suppose we have a table called employee, and in that table we want to delete the last name, which is me. So for that we'll be using this statement, as you can see, delete from employee where last name equals to me. So in the column which is called last name, there must be a value which is called me. So this statement will delete that row from the table. So I hope you have understood it, and that's all guys. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next lecture. Thanks a lot. Hi guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in today's lecture we'll learn about how we can drop tables. So let's check out the definition that we have written here. The drop table command is used to delete a table and all rows in the table. So yeah, we to delete all the rows, and suppose we want to delete a table from our database, so we generally use the drop statement. So for example, we want to drop a table, and this is a simple statement in this example, as you can see here. So for that we have written drop table, and after that the name of the table which we want to delete. So for example, we have a table called my employees, and to delete my employees I'll use this statement, drop after that table and my employees. So guys, that's all for today's lecture, and stay tuned for our next lecture, and I hope you like this video. Thank you. Hello guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in today's lecture we are going to learn about aggregate function. So aggregate functions are generally used to compute against a returned column of numeric data from your select statement. So what it means is that we generally use aggregate function on numerical columns where we can use various kinds of conditional as well as mathematical functions like sum, then average, etc. So here you can see that we can use different kinds of aggregate functions like min. So it generally returns the smallest value in given column. So when we use min statement, it generally gives us the smallest value of the entire column. Then we have max. So max generally returns the largest value in a given column. So as you have already known that we have a column, and suppose we have the highest number 100, so it will return us the 100. Then we have this sum function. So sum function generally returns the sum of numeric values in a given column. After that we have average. So average generally returns us the average value of a given column. Then we have count. So count generally returns the total number of values in a given column. So it will give us the total number of items that are present in the column. And count star generally returns the number of rows in a table. So here is one example. So we have a table called employee, and suppose we want to check out the average salary of the employee column, sorry, salary column. So the average salary will be select, then we use the avg function, and within that we specify the column that we want to get the average of, which is salary. Then we have from, and the name of the table, which is employee. We have another example. So here you can see that we have select then average function, then salary, after that from table name which is employee, and we are specifying one more condition which is title equals to programmer. So all the title which have programmer will get the average salary of all those programmers. So that's all guys for aggregate function. I hope you like this lecture and stay tuned for some more exciting videos. Thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in this lecture we are going to learn about group by clause. So group by is a very specific statement which is generally used, and it is very important. Suppose you are using group by in fields like data science or data wrangling techniques or data analysis, then we generally use group by a lot. So please focus on this very clearly. So according to the definition, the group by clause will gather all of the rows together that contain data in specified columns and will allow aggregate functions to be performed on one or more columns. So let me give a example. Suppose there is a country column and there is a persons column, and we want to know the total person in each countries. So for that we generally use group by clause. So here is one example that I have given. So we generally use select, then maximum of salary and department from employee and group by department. So it will show us the group of different departments along with the salaries of those departments. So that is all about group by clause. And guys, I really hope that you like this video and stay tuned for more exciting videos. So that's all, and thanks a lot. Hey guys, in today's lecture we will be talking about having clause. So let's check out the definition. The having clause allows you to specify conditions on the rows of each group. So as it is saying that it generally allows us to specify different conditions like greater than, less than, equals to on the rows of each group. So here is one example that is given here. So let's check it out. At first we are selecting department and the average of the salary. So salary is a column here. So I hope you remember that we talked about aggregate function. So we are applying one aggregate function here, which is avg. Then we'll select it from employee, which is the name of the table, and after that we'll group it by department, and then we'll use the having clause. So it is like a conditional statement, you can say. So we'll check out all the group by department where the average salary is greater than 20,000. So as you can see here, having avg and then salary, it means the average salary greater than 20,000, and it will show us all the department where the salary, I mean the average salary will be greater than 20,000. So guys, that's all about having clause, and I hope you really like this video and stay tuned for new lectures. So that's all, and thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in this new lecture we'll be learning about order by clause. So let's check out what order by statement does. So the order by keyword is used to sort the result set in ascending or descending order. So let me simplify this. Suppose we have a number 114422. So if we order if we apply order by init, then it will be 1122 and 44. That is, we are simply sorting it. So there are two types of order by generally. One is ascending type and another is descending type. So here is one example that we have. We are selecting star from customers, and after that order by country. So this will give us the name of the countries in sorted order. So that is what order by generally does. So guys, that's all for today, and I really hope that you like this course, and stay tuned for the next lectures. Thank you. Hey guys, so welcome to our day 4 lecture, and it is the last day of our bootcamp. So let's begin the lesson. So today we'll be learning about combining conditions and Boolean operators. So the AND operator can be used to join two or more conditions in the where clause. So suppose there is a statement where we want to compare two or more conditions. So in that case, we'll be using the AND operator. After that, both sides of the AND condition must be true in order for the conditions to be met and for those rows to be displayed. So yeah, all the conditions that we are specifying must be true for the condition to be executed and the rows to be displayed. Else it won't show you any rows. So here is one example we have. So here we are selecting employee ID, first name, last name, title, salary from employee info table. So this is the table name, and these are the column names, and this is the condition. This is one condition where salary is greater than equal to 45,000, and it is another condition. Remember, we said two or more conditions. So here we are specifying two conditions, and that's why we are using and here. So that's all guys. I hope you like this lecture and you have understood about how we can use and condition for for like adding various conditions. So that's all guys. Thank you. Have a nice day. Hey guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in this lecture we'll be learning about in and between, which is one of the important statement is SQL. So let's check out the definition. In is used to test whether or not a value is in the list of values provided after the keyword in. So here is one example where we can see about in and between. So we are selecting three columns, say employee ID, last name, and salary from the table named employee info. And in that employee info, where last name in Hernandez, Jones, Roberts, or Ruiz. So these are the names that must be present in the last name. So if this condition is met, then we'll get the result. After that comes the between statement. So the between condition operator is used to test to see whether or not a value. So suppose we want to take uh, suppose there are range between two values, okay, and we must get all the values between those two ranges. So in that case we will use between. So here is one example that we have. We are selecting employee ID, age, last name, salary from table name employee info. Then we'll execute where condition, and age is the column name, and the age must be between 30 and 40. So in our table there is a column called age, and if the age is between 30 and 40, then it will show us all the result, that is ages ranging from 30 to 40. So guys, that's all for our today's lecture. I hope you have learned about how to use in and between in SQL. So that's all for today. Thank you. Hi guys, so welcome to our new lecture, and in today's lecture we'll be learning about different mathematical functions that can be used in SQL. So at first we have ABS. So it generally returns the absolute value of X. So suppose for example we have a number called 3.14. So if we apply ABS of 3.14, then it will transform into 3. So that's the absolute value. Then we have sign of X. It returns the sign of input X as -1, 0 or 1. So it generally converts the input as three as one of these three values, like -1, 0 or 1. Then we have mod x and y. So this function generally returns us the modulo of integer remainders of x divided by y, or we can say x modulo of y. Then we have another function which is floor of x. So it returns the largest integer value that is less than or equal to x. After that we have CEIL of x, and it returns the smallest integer value that is greater than or equal to x. Then we have power x comma y, which returns the value of x raised to the power of y. So suppose for example 2 to the power 2 is 4. Oh sorry, let me give one good example. So suppose x is 2 and y is 3. So 2 to the power 3 will be 8. Then we have round of x. So it generally returns us the value of x rounded to the nearest whole integer. Then we have round x comma t. So it returns the value of x rounded to the number of decimal places specified by value t. And in the last we have sqrt of x, which generally returns the square root value of x. So for example, square root of 4 will be 2. So here we have one example of applying the mathematical function. So you can see round of x, right? So here we are applying select round of salary. So the salary column will be rounded off, and then we'll select the first name from employee info. So it will give us the rounded salary and the first name from the employee info table. So that's all from the mathematical function side. I hope this lecture was insightful, and there will be more videos in future. So thanks a lot. Hey guys, so welcome to this lecture, and it is the last lecture of the whole bootcamp. So joins are really very much important in case of interviews, or say we'll we are applying joins in data analysis or something else. But remember it that joins are very useful. So please be attentive in this lecture. So what is a join? A join clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. So we generally when we want to combine two or more tables together, in that case we apply the join statement. So there are different types of join. One is inner join, one is left or outer join, another one is right outer join, another one is full outer join. So inner join returns records that have matching values in both tables. So suppose we have table A and table B and it has different values. So when we join both the table, then it will add the values from both these tables. Then we have the left join. So left join generally returns us all the records from the left table and the records that are matching from the right table. So it will take all the values from left table, and the values that are matched in the right table will be added in the left join. Then we have right join. So it is the opposite of left join. It returns all the records from the right table and only the matched record from the left table. In the last we have full join. So full join generally returns us all the records when there is a match in either left or right table. So guys, that's the end of our SQL Bootcamp course, and I really hope that it has give you a good understanding about SQL and its various kinds of statements. And I'll be creating few more courses on SQL in the future. So I really hope that you have enjoyed this course. So goodbye, thank you, and have a nice day.